could have been a meme. Years ago, I fell off a moving double-decker bus in London. It occurred in midday traffic. I walked away without a scratch, but I'm disappointed that it went unnoticed. So why come forward now? As social media posts 24/7 headlines throughout the world, I observe as other people's mundane stories are newsworthy. Can't help but feel slighted. Where was social media when I needed it? Where is my viral video? Tell my husband, my headline could read, "Woman falls off moving double-decker bus in London, midday traffic, unscathed and unnoticed." Don't you think you should clarify that you didn't fall off the top of the bus? My husband James questioned. He's heard this story before. Oh, true, but then it's less sensational, I argue. For a first-time listener, that's my hook. Then you'd be just another fake news story. If you wish your story makes social media, you better know what you want it to say. Okay, here it goes. I'm visiting my relatives in London. My cousin and I stroll along busy Oxford Street. Our open top double-decker bus arrives. We proceed to board through the open back entrance. My cousin steps up first, walks past the ticker-taker man, and pushes through the crowd. I'm following suit. I've stepped up onto the platform. I see my cousin's back, but when I hand the ticket towards the man, the bus rolls forward and I lurch backwards like a domino. A split second. It's so fast that I don't call out my cousin's name. I land in the middle of the lane on Oxford Street. Okay, let's think about the height of the platform, my husband says. Maybe 2 feet? That's plausible to fall without injury, but it's still amazing that you didn't hit your head on the concrete. Yes, it's amazing because of my track history with injuries. 3 years ago, I tripped near the deli counter at the supermarket. I gashed my knee, my pants tore through, and despite daily Neosporin, I still have a scar. 10 years ago, I tried to tear open a cheese stick with my teeth, and I cracked my front tooth. Don't you think you should clarify that you were wearing 3-inch platform shoes at the deli, even though I tell you not to? James interjects. Fine, eyepiece. In London, were you wearing those shoes? No, I was wearing sneakers, or as they call them, trainers. Maybe that's why you didn't get hurt. It feels like divine intervention that I fall backwards onto concrete unscathed, see a black vehicle moving towards me, and I spring up and run to the sidewalk. Well, if you've just boarded the bus, wouldn't you be in the lane closest to the street? My husband calculates. You don't just board or depart buses in the middle. That's true, I realize. But Oxford Street midday is packed. How could no one witness it? Surely the driver of the back taxi saw me. Since you weren't showing signs of injury, maybe everyone assumed you were okay. Why didn't the ticker-taker man yell for the bus driver to stop? Why didn't the ticker-taker tell my cousin that I'd fallen backwards? He saw us board together. The kicker is, he didn't even take my ticket. Weeks later, I noticed my husband watching a movie. I recognized Matt Damon in a modern-day chase scene through London. I do appreciate action movies that travel abroad, weaving through foreign sights. What's this movie, I asked? Jason Bourne, James. We watched the scene where the bad guys use London's CCTV system to follow Jason through the city. Are all of those cameras part of the movie set? No, that's real. Over 250,000 cameras are monitoring London every day. Other major cities have them too. Well, how come they weren't there when I fell off my bus? Probably were. Why are they doing this? To monitor the populace, ostensibly to prevent crime. I'm dumbfounded by this Orwellian concept. Sad part is they probably did see you fall off the bus unharmed and didn't care. You're probably in their blooper reel, James adds. Oh, so maybe there's footage of me. They would get in trouble if they released it. Besides, do you want your fall as a viral GIF on Facebook? Wait, could I have been a meme before that term existed? Husband does his best Marlon Brando imitation. Yeah, you could have been a contender. We laugh for a moment. I break it up with, comedy is tragedy when it's not happening to you. Laughter ensued when I finally met up with my cousin. No cell phones back then. We hopped on and off different buses, hoping we'd find each other. And when we finally did, she laughed, like a comedy of errors. Her not realizing I'd fallen, or where I was, hopping on and off buses, trying to find each other. When she retold the story to our family that night, without any physical harm to me, it came across as comedic. If I had fallen off the top of the bus and died, perhaps a Shakespearean tragedy. But without true tragedy, it's just a Monty Python skit. Knowing Shakespeare, he'd probably find some humor as well.